So, as was mentioned, I'm the event director for Facilitate, and Ingerid is the content director. So we're here today. I've been invited by BioCat to just tell you a little bit about Advanced Therapies Europe and who Facilitate are. And I very much hope to see all of you, if not many of you, in September in Barcelona as well. So first off, we're going to sort of have a discussion, which is, we're obviously colleagues, but we thought that might be slightly more interesting for you than going through several PowerPoint slides. So with that, Ingerid.
I'll kick things off, and thanks, Becky. And I'm really excited to be here with you today, and thanks so much to the BioCat team for giving us this space to share with you as well. Appreciate we're the second to last thing that's going to happen before the cocktail reception, so hopefully we can keep you engaged with a bit of a conversation between the two of us. But I think before we kind of dig in, Becky, and let's try to set the stage a little bit, because I appreciate a lot of the people in this room may not be familiar with Facilitate and who we are and what we do. You've been in the company a bit longer than me, so it makes sense for you to kind of give a brief overview, I guess. So what is Facilitate all about? What's our story?
So thank you, Ingerid. I mean, Facilitate have been sort of, I guess, in the space, the advanced therapy space, for over 20 years now. I've only been with the company for 5, but our ethos has always been bringing the advanced therapies community together, and it's something that we're still doing to this day. So we hold community events and gatherings throughout the world, the US, Europe, and beyond, and really the foundations of it has always been about those connections that we can make within the community. And one of the things that has been so wonderful to hear that has come out time and time again today is about those connections, the passion that everyone in this room has for what they do and for driving change forward. I think Lewis apologized for his passion, but absolutely that is not something to be apologized for. And really this is what Facilitate always drives to do, is to ensure that the conversations that need to be had and indeed should happen, that the right people are in the right rooms having those conversations, making those connections, and enabling that change to happen. So that's really who we are and what we stand for.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And we're here today at the ATMP Day, and how timely with this partnership with BioCat to be able to share a little bit of our story. But perhaps you can talk a bit about this partnership, what we're looking to achieve, how this came about, essentially, because it's a new thing for us. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of the things that I've just said aligns just so perfectly with, BioCat as well. As you all know, they're obviously an incredible team, wonderful mission, and, we're so excited to be working with them. But, the partnership came about purely because, there was only one choice, really. When we were coming to Barcelona, we had to partner with BioCat, and luckily they felt the same. But it started, as all things do, with reaching out in a conversation, and we've been in contact with BioCat now for many months, building that relationship, and it's a relationship that I hope will stand the test of time for many years to come. But it's, again, back to that foundation that our missions aligned, and I believe will continue to align, and it's all about those relationships that people make with one another, because we learn sort of a lot about the science, and it's incredible in the work that comes out of it, but ultimately it is the people, it's you, it's everyone in this room, it's everyone that we bring together that makes sort of that science happen. So we're incredibly grateful to BioCat for sort of giving us access to all the amazing people that sort of are within this community, and we very much look forward to learning more about all of you and speaking to as many of you as we possibly can today and in the future.
Absolutely, and it's not the first time that we partner with organizations and associations. We do this quite on a regular basis, but what's different this time?
I think very much it's that, again, it's coming back to the passion that BioCat and everyone involved has with this collaboration. And obviously, I don't need to tell you, Catalonia and Barcelona is an amazing hub for ATMPs and advanced therapies, and we'll come more onto that later. But this collaboration is different because, again, of the people that we are collaborating with, and we're very excited about where this can take us. And I can't say it enough. We're incredibly grateful and thankful that BioCat are partnering with us and are able to have such involvement in shaping what we do as we move forward. And we hope we will be able to return that by enabling connections that potentially otherwise may not have been made within Advanced Therapies Europe and beyond.
Yeah, and I think today is a case in point, really to be able to get to know you all, to engage with all, and to what a privilege to be able to sit on this stage and that you're still here listening to us, and we're able to share our passion with you as well. So yeah, really excited about what's to come.
I mean, as I mentioned, we've hosted events all over the world, but Ingerid, do you want to sort of tell us a little bit about why we chose Barcelona?
Yeah, absolutely. We do host events all over the world. We have a global offering. You might know Advanced Therapies Week, which is a US event. That's our flagship event. It's been going for 15, 20 years now, I believe. San Diego this year coming up. We've also done Advanced Therapies Europe, which we tend to move, or up until now have tended to move around Europe. So we've done London, we did Portugal, Lisbon last year, obviously here, Barcelona. And I think it was really important for us going forward to have a strategic home for the event and really have a base and kind of stop this moving around so much. So Barcelona really presented itself as a great strategic opportunity for us. You all know about the importance of the work that's taking place here, and the location and this leading biotech hub, as it were. But it's important to us as well. The location doesn't only have to work for us; it has to work for the community that we serve as well. So we're very much about a community-first approach. We are first and foremost an event for the industry, by the industry. Becky and I are not scientists. We do have some scientists in our team. We've got a very strong team of researchers who are working on the content. I'd say in excess of 100 research calls. And when I say research calls, they are fairly deep dive research calls into the needs of the industry. And part of that is also ascertaining which is going to be the location for our events going forward. And Barcelona, for a number of obvious reasons, just presented itself as the obvious choice for us. You will all know this, but it's one of Europe's top biotech and Advanced Therapies hub. We were really, really impressed by the research that's taken place here. The strong investment and also the global connectivity. And I think the investment piece we've heard a lot about this morning. It's a really challenging situation, but yet there's still things happening here. So for us, it's really exciting to be able to take our European event here for the first time. Fast-growing ecosystem, world-class research center, obviously BioCat, amazing and really exciting partnership ahead with them as well. Exploding innovation and investment that we've seen that come out of our research. Still relatively strong funding, fueled by breakthroughs in cell and CAR T therapies. As I said, challenging space to be in, but exciting things still happening. Obviously, location, as in connectivity, is really important. Becky and I flew over in just over 2 hours from London, so it's globally connected. We can bring in a more of international community to this as well. And really a strategic bridge between Europe and the rest of the world for biotech collaboration, which is so important to us. And let's not forget about the talent and the translational expertise. It's a hub for workforce development and commercialization. So yeah, we did a lot of work for it. It's not just because Becky and I want to come over to Barcelona on a regular 4 weeks basis, although coming from the UK, it's nice to come and actually see the sun more than an hour a day once a month. But yeah, so just wanted to kind of give you a bit of a flavor that it's a strategic choice for us. We want to be here for very many years to go, and we want to engage with you guys as well. We really want to be part of this community, and so expect to see a lot more of Becky and I, and perhaps other members of our team in Barcelona in the next 12 months, hopefully beyond, so yeah.
I mean, we're pretty colourful, so hopefully it'll be hard to miss. So, obviously that list, everyone knows why Barcelona is so great, but I think ultimately it's that a lot of thought went into this, and it was the obvious choice, really. So
Becky, let's fast forward a bit. let's look at the event that we're doing in September, so 2nd to 4th September. Just get that marked in your diaries straight away. But what's different about, and we call it ATEs, Advanced Therapies Europe, really for anyone else. But what are we doing that we haven't done before? How does this feel different to us? Why did we make it different? And yeah, just dive in a little bit.
I sound like a stuck record, but one of the things that's also really come out of the research that the team has done for this year, more than ever before, is again the importance of making those connections, especially as when we go into the commercial strategies. It's very much about how sort of the science is presented, and more it is a case of it's not necessarily what you know, because there is so much talent, so much great science coming out of this region and beyond, that it's about how you get that message out there, and again through those conversations and connections that are made. So what's new for this year, other than a new location, is we are focusing very much on ensuring that the right people are in the room. So we're limiting the event to a 500 person capacity. We're curating the audience very carefully. We are ensuring that the meetings are taking place that need to take place, and those are being curated by the team, by myself, by Ingerid. So if there are individuals within the event that any of you want to meet, we will absolutely do everything we can to either make that introduction or to arrange a one-to-one meeting for you within the event, or even pre-event, post-event, wherever it may be. And again, despite what we've heard with AI taking over the world, that is all done by a human. It's done by us. It is done by the conversations that we're having. It's done by the insights that we are getting, again, from all of the conversations that we are driving forward. But in terms of the agenda for this year, we've got some really amazing interactive formats that will come onto, we call them deep dives and workshops, but they are closed-door sessions with a sort of 20 people or around a very niche particular topic, again, so that we can ensure that everyone that is coming to the event and is coming to Advanced Therapies Europe are not only meeting the people, but are ensuring that the topics being discussed, are and should be discussed, that are on the agenda. So the agenda is very much sort of your remit as the content director, Ingerid. So with that in mind, other than obviously the formats, what kind of themes and topics are we discussing in 2025?
Yeah, 100%. So we're covering a lot of grounds. We've got 3 full days of content, which is really great, and really interesting to sit through this morning, or what I understood of it. Obviously, the first part, and we need to work on our Spanish, Becky. But the first part kind of went over my head a little bit. But really interested to see a lot of the topic being covered. And so we have a privilege of having 3 full days of content. So we're going to dig a lot deeper into a lot of this. But just to give you a bit of a flavour first of the key themes that very much come out of, like I said, the research that we've done. And these are the guiding thread or the narratives that kind of tie the sessions and content together for the 3 days. So obviously funding. We will be digging deep into the funding landscape. What does it look like? How do we create funding that actually matches the ambition? And we heard this morning, like I said, it's a really incredibly challenging place. Like, how are companies staying ahead? What does this look like? So, we'll be, deep diving into that. And I'll come back to this a little bit as well. We have half a day of the investment summit, which is specifically dedicated to look at this in detail. So I'll talk a little bit about that after as well. The second topic is obviously around manufacturing, which we covered here as well, but really scaling with purpose, because it's no longer just a back-end concern, it's a strategic priority. So we're not just asking how much can we produce, but really how and where, like the fantastic panel that we saw just before Becky and I came to stage. So we're looking at what does a scalable future-proof model look for right now, and what's it going to look like in the future. So we're really diving in deep into those issues as well. Technology, of course, the tools are getting smarter. We can't go anywhere, I think, these days without talking about AI. And Lewis, thanks for your quote. No biotech will be able to compete going forward without an AI platform. Really enjoyed that and couldn't agree more. So we're looking at, what does this look like? This integration, like, it takes time. Where are we? What technologies are actually delivering results and why? So digging deep into these topics and getting some tangible use cases, hopefully, for you with people who's actually out there and doing this work. And I think we're still very early on in this AI journey, and everyone will know this, but we're so much so happened over the last few years. So really exciting conversations taking place there. Obviously, we are looking around, patient centricity. That's probably the reason why we're all here right now. Designing around the patients. What does this look like? And as we see therapies becoming more and more personalized, the patient experience becomes more at the center of all of this. So how do we build a truly patient-first therapies that, right from the get-go, right from the start? I'm nearly done, I promise. We're also looking at pushing the therapeutic edge. So things like in vivo therapies and quite new immunotherapies are expanding what we can do in this space. But these kind of modalities also brings about new questions in terms of delivery, durability, and safety, as we've touched upon here as well this morning. So what will it really take to bring the next generation of CGT to market? So really diving deep into those issues with, case studies and panels as well. And then I think finally, really worth to mention, we live in a world that changes almost by the minute. There's a lot of things happening. Really interesting to hear the stuff around China, which of course have come up in our research as well. And the US is a very different place now to what it was previously. So what does this mean for Europe? What are expectations for Europe to step up? In this space, and then looking at the kind of regulatory challenges and market complexities that come with it. So I mean, lots to cover. This doesn't even do it justice, but there's a lot to cover. And just to kind of give you a flavor in terms of how we want to bring the content to life, the connection is really, really important to us. So we want to use content as a way to connect between, not just between us and you guys, but between you guys as well, and really using the content as a tool to do that. So you can expect a lot of different things. If we're starting on the 2nd of September, which is the pre-day, we call it day 0, it doesn't really make sense, but it's got the investment summit, which I mentioned will cover the funding landscape thing. We also have the fantastic Women in Advanced Therapies Congress, which Becky will know very well, who you founded it, right? Yeah, you did. Kudos to you. So we have a half a day specifically for that, and then in the evening we'll have a lovely little networking reception, but that's not content related, that's more fun. And then we go into, I guess we call it event proper, day 1 and day 2, where all of these formats will feature. So you'll expect a lot of the traditional formats, keynote, panels, breakout sessions. We have 2 tracks running throughout. But what we're really excited about, we're excited about that as well, but we're really excited about the more kind of closed-door sessions to connect. And things that people have said to me, like part of the research, is, the conversation that actually really matter. Like, where do these conversations take place? Can we have a safe space where we can really speak freely? So we're trying to incorporate a lot of these sessions. Closed door is an international. I mean, in the UK we call it Chatham House Rule. I think that's a fairly international term by now, but completely off the record, peer-to-peer led. So really having that opportunity, I think, is really important to speak freely and safely to each other. We have speakers. I'm really excited to see some of them in this room. Lewis again, you'll be joining us on the investment summit, I believe. We're currently at 60 speakers. There's still room to get involved. I reckon we'll end up with about 80, 90 speakers actually. So
Hopefully.
yeah. So there's a lot going on. But just a bit of shout out to, I think, some people. And I don't really want to leave anyone out, but I think some of you might be in the room. But QH Therapeutics, Gonzalo, don't know. We haven't met personally, but there you are. So I'll make sure I come and say hello to you afterwards as well. Who else we got? Integra Therapeutics. I don't think Cedo in the room, but we should have a representative here. Do give a shout somewhere, maybe not. But in any case, yeah, they'll be there. So many more. We've got Europa Bio, Claire Scantlebury, who's the Director General, asked us to pass on a hello to the BioCat team. We've got, gosh, who am I leaving out now? There's so many. We've got the Director, Global Cell Gene Therapy portfolio for Novartis. We've got the CEO of Spice Bio. There's so many. I really would feel it'd be unfair to single anyone out. All the information is on our website. We're happy to share with you afterwards as well. But really exciting, really amazing lineup. And if you want to get involved, still have opportunities. I will be here. Becky will be here to enjoy some drinks with you afterwards. So yeah, happy to discuss how we can get you involved.
This
That was
the
a
last
lot.
slide. So it's we didn't think we'd be able to fill the time, but apparently we can talk more than we realised. So you'll see on the slide behind us that we have a QR code. What we ask if you would like to get involved, have more information about Advanced Therapies Europe, is you can just scan it, fill in the form. We will be in touch. As I said, we do really want everyone to be involved in Advanced Therapies Europe. It is this September. 2nd to the 4th at the Hotel Arts, so lovely hotel as well. But ultimately, sort of the message that we want to leave you with is that, you're all involved in this industry because you have passion. It's a wonderful industry to be involved in. You are obviously making a fundamental difference to, the patients that these therapeutics go to. But we can't do it unless we do it together. So, as I say, we invite you openly and warmly to join us at Advanced Therapies Europe, where the connections that you make and the conversations that you have really do have the potential to transform lives. And I've already reached out to many of you prior to today, and I've had some lovely messages back, and I hope that there will be more conversation going back and forth. But if you'd like to find out more, as I say, please do scan the QR code. One of the team will be in touch, hopefully myself or Ingerid. But we will leave you on that note. I mean, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them now or come and find us later on.
One more thing to add, not just for the event in September, but we want to engage with you for the whole duration. I want to speak to you guys. Like we as I said, we do a lot of research, so really, really fundamentally important that we connect. And I won't have the time to do all of this now, so we'd appreciate it if you do scan the QR code so I can follow up with you, and then we can keep the conversation going for the next foreseeable future. And then we'll be back in July.
Yeah,
pretty sure we'll be back in July. Yeah.
But thank you so much. And any questions you have, happy to answer them now, or as I said, we can sort of leave the stage and we'll connect in the sort of networking later on. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, sorry, Becky and Ingerid. I do have a question for you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, but it's a question/comment. I was very lucky to, I attended a couple of events last year as speaker on advanced therapies, but I happened to participate in yours. And it really, I really liked the way, and it is not just because we were bringing this, and this is probably because of the partnership as well, because it was so well structured. There were so many different discussions. Everybody had a chance to talk, to discuss, to engage. There are different, quite innovative spaces that, for me, somehow was the first time I was involved in one of those. So that's why we also approached and said, okay, I want that, or we want that for Barcelona, for our Advanced Therapies Catalonia, ATMP Catalonia. And then we thought that could be next year, because that was, in Portugal, in Estoril, for a couple of years. I was also very happy to see that there's this Women in Advanced Therapies pre-day. That was very insightful as well. Mm-hmm. But then the surprise came when it was for 2025, which is also a good news. I wanted to ask you about the impact, not just what we, in our partnership, you are happy that we are delivering you, but what you will deliver to the ecosystem for this partnership. But you pretty much touched upon this, so thank you for all the insightful comments. But really, we think that this is very good for our hub. So thank you for your comments and for being here.
Oh, no, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And I should say, Women in Advanced Therapies, it is obviously close to my heart, but it's not just for women, it is also for their allies. So everyone is welcome to join us in Women in Advanced Therapies. So, and in fact, we had, I think, 50, 60 men join us in sort of last year's Women in Advanced Therapies, as well as many of the wonderful women as well. So I just wanted to sort of share very much we are inclusive, not exclusive. So.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.